Hi, my name is Phung Huynh, and I'm a Los Angeles-based artist, and I also teach at Cal State LA. Today, I'm at Fullerton College for my artist residency, and currently I'm working on a drawing of acclaimed Cambodian-American chef, Chef Nhat Yoon. You can check out her work on Netflix on the show called Chef's Table. They did a whole noodle episode, and she's the daughter of Cambodian refugees who survived civil war and genocide. And her work is about preserving Cambodian food. For her, growing up in Northern California, a lot of the restaurants, she didn't find that there were a lot of restaurants that celebrated and centered Khmer or Cambodian food. A lot of times it'll be kind of mixed with Thai food or Vietnamese food. So she went back to Cambodia in a journey just to like research food, and she came across family and learned more about how her parents survived genocide and connected with Cambodian culture, and then came back to the United States and in San Francisco opened up a restaurant called Nhom Bai, and now she has Lunette. So I encourage you to do that. So I wanted to celebrate her and honor her, and I'm making this portrait of her. And usually a lot of my portraits have to honor the agency of the subject. So I asked her, like, what photo do you want me to use? And I imagined making a portrait of her cooking, but then she said to me, you know what? I've always wanted an apsara image of myself. And an apsara is like a nymph or celestial being that you see carved at Angkor Wat in the temples. And a lot of Cambodians in the diaspora, when they go back to Cambodia, they will go to a photo studio and take their apsara photo and get dressed up with this beautiful crown and jewels. In traditional Cambodian culture, we really celebrate the woman and the woman's beauty and elegance. And so she knows she would never actually do this. She would never actually go to a photo studio and dress up as an apsara, but she said, but can you draw me as it? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. So I really love being able to honor her in the way that she wants. Art is a powerful, powerful tool to talk about things we're afraid of, to talk about things that need more visibility. Drop by, come draw with me. The activity that I had is the question displaced, which I think is very relevant to today. A lot of people all over the world are being displaced. What kinds of food would you take with you if you became a refugee? And this is something really important to me and my family. We were one of the first Vietnamese and Cambodians to come to the United States. Before that, it was mostly Chinese or Japanese. And there was no fish sauce. Y'all so lucky. Can you imagine no pho? Like and we're like, how the hell are we gonna cook? And we were sponsored by a church who found us housing and jobs. And they had tons of canned food, right? Chef Boyardee or, I don't know, beans, corn. And one of the things my mom was given was cornflakes. And she's like, cornflakes? Cornflakes, right? Like, how do I cook this? Do I boil it? And my mom's like, no rice. They didn't think about giving us rice. And then my dad's, one of his first jobs was a janitor, and the first thing he did with his first paycheck was buy rice. Now, you're Asian family, we buy it by like the sacks, right? They had them only like little bags, so my family bought all those little bags in the market. So food is very important. Food is our culture, food is our heritage. So my question to you, I will answer your question, but the activity was about, if all of a sudden you have to leave and be in a totally different country, what food would you bring with you, right? Or maybe some family recipes that have been passed down for generations. I mean, we live close to the southern border. Corn is really important. Corn is indigenous, right? Tortillas and tamales, you know, imagine generations of those foods being passed down, and what happens if they were gone forever? What would that be like? So if you have time, I set up pencils, coloring pencils and markers, and I have sheets of cans, and you can either draw or write about what kind of foods you would bring and why. And then I'm gonna put on the wall things that my family wish they brought, like krung is a special Cambodian or Khmer paste that's made of like ginger, galangang, a lot of different things, but this is like the base of Cambodian food. And the brand matters, okay? The brand really matters. Oyster sauce. And then I grew up with my mom, who's Vietnamese, making nước mắm, which is sugar, water, fish sauce, lime, and chile. And how many of you like spam musubi? You know? Do you know the history of spam? and how it came, okay, so Spam is a spiced meat that's canned and cheap, right? So the British actually came up with Spam to feed the soldiers during World War II. But as you know, with U.S. imperialism and naval bases all over the country, I see your Filipino hat, dude. How many military bases in the Philippines, right? The Philippines kicked out the Spanish and the Americans, the Japanese who tried to take over, right? So it's ironic that we all love Spam musubi, but it came from the history of militarization and colonialism. And because of the wars fought throughout Asia, they brought Spam. And now we have Spam musubi. And if you go to Hawaii, Spam musubi is really popular. And ironically, Hawaii has American military bases as well. So when I look at Spam, it is very Pan-Asian, but at the same time, it reminds me of the military as a vehicle to kind of spread certain kinds of culture. And I think we need to be aware of that. Or this idea that camouflage is popular. That's kind of sick, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So come back, y'all. Come back and do this activity with me. I hope by the end of the week, the wall will be covered with your comments, your art, your drawings, and your experiences too. Teaching has really influenced my work because it forces me to think about the future. And I feel like change takes many generations. And I think I've shared this before. My grandfather has always said, when I think about what I do, I think about 7 generations after me. And so thinking about the future, thinking about emerging artists, thinking about my role as a mom, because I'm like, they always call me their art mom. I'm like, dude, really? This is my art mom fun. I'm like, I've never said that, but okay. Has built community. I feel like teaching has made me more of a community artist and see more of the impact rather than just making work and showing it, but seeing direct relationships, direct connections. The students change things, right? So for me, students remind me to fight harder, to be stronger, and to not resist change, and keep me real. Oh my God, y'all keep me real for sure. Yeah.
Do all the artwork.